All right, okay. Thanks so much for waiting for that extra minute or two. I ran into some technical issues uh, migrating the stream essentially. So, just so you know, I used to multi-stream on Rumble, on YouTube, and sometimes on X. I long ago abandoned Twitch, but I've recently decided, due to participation, due to view count and other factors, to have a run at making YouTube my exclusive platform for streaming. I've had a lot of success and had a lot of good times just in the last few days on the YouTube side of things. So we're going to give that a go. And in order to optimize the stream for YouTube to 1440p, 60 frames a second, things like that, I had to make some internal changes to the software that I use. And thought I had everything set up perfectly, but it didn't go off without a hitch. I had to make some last minute adjustments right as I was getting ready to launch the game. But I think we've got everything right where I want it to be at this point. So we should be in pretty good shape. So let's go ahead and jump right into Final Fantasy XI. I think this is like maybe the fifth stream I've done for this particular character since I started this new project here. So let's just see. Just a moment. As always, there's some sort of technical glitch I've got to fix. This is just a sound issue. There we go, there we go. And let's get the game on the screen here. And there we are. Excellent, perfect. Just what I want to see. So where we left off yesterday is we had just unlocked the quest to get the support job in Selbina. And I had a few things I wanted to trade to the Moogle here to sort of clear out the inventory a bit. And that's what I'm going to do real quick. Did I put that other voucher in here? Yes. Okay. So we're going to do a little housekeeping before we proceed on this quest. And what I mean by that is I've got a couple bat wings that I want to turn in for some fame here in Sandoria. Now, the way that this works in Final Fantasy XI is each nation has what's called fame, or a, I don't know how to describe it, a renown system, so to speak. The more quests you do in a specific area, the more famous you become. The fame mechanic is sort of what decides what new quests are unlocked, what privileges and things like that you have. I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think it may even affect the prices that merchants charge. I'm not 100% sure about that. Way. And I think I have another quest to turn in right here as well. Because we did that Scripture of the Wind quest last night. And it may be time to get rid of this question mark by my name. What that's all about is when you're a new or returning player, you get that question mark. I'm trying to remember where that's at. Somewhere. I think it might be a command I have to type. Otherwise, it will eventually go off all by itself. Very nice. We got a cape. Of course, it is for mages only, so I can't wear it currently. But we'll deposit that in the longhouse. There it is. There it is. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. There, and now we're just a regular old player. We want to go to East Runfar for this quest. I've decided I want to go ahead and do that quest where we turn in the blue pea pod. We'll just finish up a couple loose end Sandora quests before we start to venture out into the greater world. watchtower. That could be right here. Let's head that way. Let's see what the quest said again. South, nope, southeast area. Maybe right here. It did say east, right? Okay. We'll make a quick jaunt that way. Knock that quest out before we go ahead and work on this support job quest. Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm an old school FFXI player, but I quit right after Adolin came out, so there's a lot of new things, a lot of these quality of life improvements that I'm not used to. So a lot of this, in a way, it's almost like learning the game all over again. So I started a new character, and we're actually experiencing the game from the very beginning as a new player would if they were starting today for the first time. That's kind of how we're doing this. And this is maybe the 4th or 5th stream I've done since I rolled this character the other day. Where's he going, buddy? Pretty sure this is the spot. Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. Thanks be to the goddess and her benevolence. May the gates of paradise open to all. Is that all he's got to say? Okay. Let's take a quick trip home, huh? on this warp ring. We'll just warp back to town. Turn this quest in, and I think that's the last quest I'm going to turn in Sandoria. And then we're going to head back to... Yeah, there we go. Then we're going to head back to thriteen Plateau, where we'll get started on this sub-job quest. Now, like I mentioned yesterday, back in the old days, the support job quest was a little different. Archmage says, oh wow, Final Fantasy XI, last I played this was, 2004 or 5. Wow, that would have been in the really, really early days of the game. He says, I love the EverQuest influence it had. Yeah, for sure. EverQuest was a big motivator when it came to this game. I think it was Hiromichi Tanaka, maybe, that actually saw no, I can't remember what developer it was that saw EverQuest when he was visiting the US and became enamored with it. Went back to Japan and explained it to the development team and said, I want to make a Final Fantasy that is like this. And he made them all play it. So some of the earliest members of the dev team actually played EverQuest and immediately understood the vision he was trying to portray to them. Windurst was my neighborhood. Played it through middle 30s, I think. Windurst is very comfy, very cozy. I love the music there. This game, in fact, if anything, it's the music that always kind of drags me back to this game from time to time. So much, if you haven't played since 2004, 2005, so much has changed, it would blow your mind. So I've turned this quest in, and what are we getting? A brass ring. Ooh, thank you. Well, so 2 hit points would be pretty good for a, in the early game, for a melee job. Of course, now it's nothing because we have the Jubilee Ring, which is a new item for this 24th anniversary, which is a 50% experience point bonus, and skill gains increase by 100% when they're under 400. The skill is under 400. That's absolutely insane. Up through Juneau and the area around there. So if you're playing in 2004, 2005, you would have had the base game. Of course, in the US, it came with the Rise of Zillert expansion built in. You probably played, or you probably had the Chains of Promathia installed, because I think the next expansion, Treasures of Ottergon, did not release, I think, maybe until 2006. Maybe late 2005, but I feel like it was 2006. And so much has changed. Even since I quit in like 2013-ish, there's so many things now. You can warp just by using home points. Getting around the game is way easier. I can click that home point and immediately warp to any home point I've already visited. I can click this book and warp to any other of these books that I have visited for a fee. We don't want to go to Balkan Dunes, do we? No, I don't think so. I want to go to thriteen Plateau. Yeah, it was very early. Could have been 2006, but I played starting at release for a year or so. Very, very nice. That's fantastic. What is going on with my window here? There you go. So I played in the North American beta on the PS2, and I did not play immediately at release because right when the game was launching in the US, I was about to have my first child and I was moving all at the same time. And so I actually I didn't play the retail game until maybe about 6 to 7 months after release, maybe even a little bit longer, maybe closer to a year. Um, I started playing, not, I guess, I don't know, 8 to 9 months before Treasures of Other Gone came out. I'm not really certain. It was maybe 2000, it was late 2004, I think, when I started playing retail, and I played it until Final Fantasy XIV came out in 2010, and that's when I took my first break to play 14. Of course, the original version of 14 was shut down, and there was a year hiatus, and I came back to 11, and I played until Seekers of Adeline, the final expansion, came out. And then when the second version, the current version of Final Fantasy XIV was released, I pretty much quit this game and played it exclusively. I think I came back once or twice to do a few new little pieces of content, and that was it. Back then, I remember you had to find a white mage to get a teleport. So that was even the case in 2006, all the way up to, like, I don't know, past 2010. Um, white mages were the teleport taxi service. I used to main as a white mage, specifically for that reason. And that's how I made a lot of my money on the side. People don't really shout for teleports anymore because there's all of these book warps and crystal warps and things like that. I thought about actually asking for a warp to the crag here because the quests that I need to do are right here in this area. These books were one of the first things that were added to the game to help people level up a little bit faster. There's a list of monsters to kill, and when you kill like all 3 Fungwars and all 5 bats, you'll get an experience point bonus, and then it just resets. So I picked what? Fungwars and bats, yes. I remember, let's see, I can barely read your chat because of my settings. I remember 14 around correctly released. There was a large squarish area separated by long hallways, even outdoors. I'm getting to play much before they took it down. Large squarish areas separated by long hallways. I'm not certain what you're referring to, unless you're talking about the area outside of Gridania, which was the maze, the forest area, and it was a lot of vine type corridors of trees, and it was really copy and paste scenery. It wasn't open and dynamic like a lot of people expected. 1.0 Final Fantasy XIV was its own beast. There was a certain charm to it that I really liked. It actually looked better than Final Fantasy XIV looks today in a lot of ways, but it performed really poorly. The servers were in Japan, just like 11 servers are. I think the biggest problem with 1.0 was it was an MMO, but it had all of these really, really powerful graphical assets, and it just caused the game to lag, and it was a mess, especially in the early days. By the time they actually shut it down, it was quite playable, and really, really enjoyable. I'm glad I kept a lot of screenshots of it. I played it all the way to the very end, and I got a lot of exclusive items because I participated in 1.0 in its completion. It did seem like it was outside a city. And it's so difficult to say. Of course, I can't go back and look at those areas anymore. Modern 14 is a fun game in its own way. The last expansion for that game really just burned me out big time. It was long-winded and repetitive, and the formula hasn't changed. It's the same thing. It's every patch, your top gear is no longer good anymore, and I mean, I understand the progression in 14, but I just feel like there's not enough original content in that game. That and a lot of the player base is just, I don't know. A lot of the people that play that game, they're just hard to be around. I'm an old guy, and I don't have a lot of, I don't have a lot of patience for theater kids. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What do we got here? 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 We have an NM. We have an NM. I don't know that we can actually take this thing. We're gonna try. So now in 14, or pardon me, now in 11, you have the option to summon NPC party members, which is what I'm doing. After your stream, I'll take another look. I'm gonna playing it all the way through. Unique experience. Yeah. Slumbering Samuel. So I don't know that I'm anywhere close to being able to fight this thing. I'm not going to look it up on the wiki. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way and probably die. But me and my trusts here will do the best we can. But yeah, it's not too bad. Archmage says you introduced me to the Wizardry remake about a year ago. Oh man, that Wizardry remake was fantastic. And I don't know if you're in the loop with this sort of thing, but Atari recently came out and said they have acquired the rights to Wizardry 1 through 5 here in the US from Dracon, the Japanese company that owns the properties. And I think Atari owns Digital Eclipse, which is the company that remade that Wizardry 1 a year or two ago. So if that's the case, I feel like we can expect remakes of other early Wizardry titles. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm asleep. Come on, my character's still asleep. Wake up, wake up. We're going to kill this NM. It's fantastic. I know the development team behind that Wizardry remake, they really, really wanted to continue. They wanted to make Wizardry 2 and 3. When I streamed that game, when it was still in early access, I streamed it the night it came out, and the dev team actually joined my chat and watched me play and gave me all kinds of cool information. They really, I know at that time, were hoping to work on 2 and 3, but I think their hopes got kind of dashed later on. That's it. No drop. No drop from Slumbering Samuel. That's okay. No drop. I wonder what he drops. I'll have to look it up. if that does happen, if we do get Wizardry 2, 3, and maybe even 4 and 5, I really, really hope they keep the ability to import your party between the first 3 games. Alright, so there's the crag. So what I'm looking for here is around the crag. So what I was saying earlier is originally, to unlock your support job in this game, you had to collect 3 rare items. One of them from the dunes, one of them from the mines in Guskin, and I can't remember where the third one came from. I think it was in by the seaside in Saruda Baruda somewhere. I can't remember. And it took a long time. They were very rare drops. They didn't drop very often. Most people preferred to party with a thief in the party, so it would increase the drop rate. But you can still do that, but you don't have to do that anymore. There's now alternate route that you can take, which is you have to collect beehive chips from bees that hang out around this area somewhere. And you collect 3 of those beehive chips and you bring them to Selbina, and you can get your support job that way also. It's the same quest, they just added a different option for the quest. And so, since we're playing this like a person would play it today, we're going to do that. I don't see any bees. I wonder if the bees are a daytime only monster. What's that? 2 out of 3? Yep. There's another one. Come on. Oh. And Akam bottles, I think we got one, right? Is that what it was? The vultures or whatever? Let's see. Bats. Bats. Okay, there's some bats hanging out right around here. Playing the Trails in the Sky remake is going to get back to that. Nice. Thanks for the info, Wizardry. I would love to see DE remake them all. Good luck on your sub drop. Thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. Feel free to drop in anytime. Enjoy your game. Now, that quest giver said maybe bees are around. We're around the crag. I could have sworn that's what he said. I'm going the wrong way now. Wikipedia does say that Atari owns Digital Eclipse since 2023. That is exciting. Yeah, that's great news. I agree. I would love it if the same dev team works on the other releases. I personally want to see more Japanese Wizardry titles come to the US. To date, we've only got 3 of them. um, and I would love to see more. I don't count Wizardry Online because it lasted a year before it got shut down. But I would love to see more Japanese Wizardry titles. They really understand the spirit and the DNA of the game, in my opinion. And I've loved the two of the three that I have played. Tales of the Forsaken Land and what's the one? The other one. Came out on the PlayStation 3 first, and now it's on PC. I can't think of the name. In Japan, it's Wizardry Busen, but over here, it's got a different name. Okay, I need to find flowers. That's where bees are going to be. I don't see any around this crag. I know there's some bees down in the little drop-offs by Ordell Cave. Where are you, bees? See those little dandelions down there? That's usually where... Oh, I don't want to get stuck down there at all. I don't remember if I've got maps for the Ordells or not. When can I use that warp ring again? That's not 10 minutes, is it? Those things usually had a really long cooldown. I feel like the bees only come out at daytime. Yeah, because they should be here. I'm close enough to these flowers, they should be here. I'll work on these bats in the meantime. I'll check the, I think I will check the wiki. Well, I might want to go back and get that chest. There might be some decent level appropriate gear here. Where's the chest? This goblin wanting to fight me. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. A Desperado ring. What is that? White mage, blue mage, red mage, latent effect, attack +5. That's crazy. I've never seen this item. That is a rare, exclusive. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I opened this chest. I've never seen that ring before. Desperado ring. What is that again? Level 9. Paladin Dark Red Mage. Latent effect attack +5. Interesting. That's neat. Never seen that ring before. I'm going to look that up. I'm curious about that. Let's see. I want to know when that was added. And Desperado. Let's see. Obtainable from Goblin Box. Rare exclusive. Treasure task. But it doesn't say when it was added. Interesting. Triggered by magic points less than or equal to 5%. I see. I get the name now. So if you're a mage, you're wearing this ring, your magic points have fallen low where you can't attack or heal. Your attack goes up 5. Interesting. And not particularly useful though, is it? I mean, I guess kind of useful, but I mean, it's not a guarantee. All right, let's see. Spawns are spread out, only 3 or 4 each of the valleys. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Wide scan is now available. I think to almost all classes. You don't have to be a ranger anymore to use wide scan. Huge wasp. There's a huge wasp right there. Behind me. Down here. Alright, where's the path down? Can I even get down? Doesn't make much sense that every class should have access to wide scan. Wow. Yeah, they're down there. And I think the only way down there is to go through the exit of the cave. I don't think I can drop down. Okay, we'll go to one of these other ones. there's an entrance in here somewhere. We're gonna find it. I know this particular valley here has an entrance into it. Because in the there's a huge wasp right there. I see it. Because in the old days when I played this game, the very first time, or I should say, you know, when I played it originally with my first character, I made my first friend down here in this valley. I was trying to do a quest that I was way out of my league for. I was nowhere near prepared for this quest, but I didn't know that. And I was down to here, looking to enter the Ordell Caves, and I ran into another guy, and we ended up working together and learning together that we were not ready for what we were trying to undertake. But the two of us ended up joining a link shell together. And the rest is history. Yeah, there's a quest, I think, that takes me here to talk to these guys or something. Maybe it's a mission even, I can't recall. And that might have been what we were doing. Although I think perhaps we were trying to do the Eco Warrior quest, which, yeah. It's one of those quests that most people never finish. It's probably easier today. But I remember even after the game raised level cap up to 99, the Eco Warrior was still capped at 30. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think we couldn't even level sync. Alright, one clump of bee pollen. That's one of my 3 items that I need. One of the 3 clumps of bee pollen. Why can't I help with the chest? There we go. Lemon slops, a holly pole. Nice, another clump of bee pollen. 2 of the 3 that I need right there. Oh, these funguars will aggro me, okay. I didn't think they would. What do they check as? Easy prey, but they still aggro, huh? Okay. sit here and rest for a moment. Wait for those bees to respawn. Okay. All right, so there's my 3 clumps of bee pollen. That's what I needed. Let's go back to Selbina. You know what? I think we can warp straight to Selbina. I believe I got that crystal, so let me equip this warp ring. Go back to town and we will warp. Save ourselves a little time. And that should be the support job quest in full. Let's see. I love this music. So many times back in the old days when you would do Dunes parties and things would go bad, and you would run for that gate just up there to try to make it to town where you'd be safe. with a goblin on your tail or something like that, and then you'd hear that guitar, and you knew that you made it. Yeah, I don't give it to him, I give it to them in here, I think. I think the mayor's office needed the bee hall. Yeah, here we go. Oh, you brought them back safely then. Gilgamesh and his entourage just arrived back in port. So, you're Rohingya. I've heard much about you. My friend Rohingya gathered these clumps of bee pollen just as she requested. Aye, this be just what we ordered. Now a little tit for tat. Excellent. I think adventurers would have use for these. So here, Rohingya, for you. Suppose we best get down to business. Rohingya, might come as a bit of surprise to hear this, but I'm a pirate known for roaming the Vastoria Sea. The oceans to the west have been a bit stormier than usual of late, and my crew and I have come across a small vessel adrift upon the tides. So of course I say to myself, who'd have thunk that such a delicate rowboat could stay whole in such a terrible brew? And then the whole thing started flashing red. Being the curious sailor I am, I went and investigated. Lo and behold, there was a pretty young lass lying prone along the deck. I've always had quite a fondness for the color red. Figuring it must be a sign from Altana herself, I took her on board and brought her back with me to Norway. When she came to, the first words from those pale lips of hers were your name. So, I want you to come back to Norway with us. She was quite insistent on meeting you. You see, she's gone on a bit of a hunger strike. Ship's dock at port waiting to take you whenever you got affairs in order here. I just remembered a bit pressing engagement I've got to attend to, but I'll catch up with you there. And see, this is where I'm going to be torn, because normally you wouldn't go to Norg until much later. Norg was actually a zone that was added in the second expansion of the game. And you normally would already have your support job, and you would have gone to the zone after this, the zone through the jungle and everything else before you get to Nord. And so skipping straight there seems a bit, I don't know, I don't want to experience, I'm torn because I want to experience the game the way it is today, but I also kind of want to re-experience it the old way too, so I don't know. I have a request. Don't breathe a word to the populace that I aided a known pirate. Their activities aren't completely on the up and up, but as a port town, we still depend on them. And while we're talking of aid, remember to use that item I gave you. Sakio here in town will know what to do with it. So the key item I have is Gilgamesh's introductory letter. So I've got this key item now, the letter of introduction. The This letter of introduction provided by building our service is an unmistakable sign of faith and trust in you. Presented to Vera and Mahura Isako or Isakio and Sabina. See if his words carry any weight. Splendid. As promised, I will now instruct you in the most precious skill. I call it a support job. Listen well and learn its secrets. Support jobs are undertaken anywhere you normally change jobs. You must already be proficient in a job before you can declare it your support job. Furthermore, the effective level of your support job can never exceed half of your main job. Also, since it's merely a support job, you'll never advance the experience. I shall give you an example. Let's just say you've attained level 20 as a warrior and level 10 as a white mage. You would obviously declare your main job as warrior and your support job as white mage. In this example, you'd fight as a warrior of 20 levels and as a white mage 10 levels lower. Thus, you'd be performing with both jobs at their maximum potential. In contrast, if you had declared white mage as your main job and a warrior as your support job, things would be different. Since you would only have 10 levels of experience as a white mage, your potential as a warrior would be reduced to half of that of your main job, thus a 5. Not a wise decision, is it? Similarly, you wouldn't want to make your support job something you've never done before. Your support job is less than half of your main job. Your undeveloped skills will not make a difference. So basically, this whole support job system is a key element to success in Final Fantasy XI. You can equip 2 jobs, your main job and then your support job. Your support job is always half of your main job's level, assuming you have leveled your support job to that point. Right now, the only job I've leveled in this game is warrior. So any other support job I would choose would be stuck at level 1 because I've not leveled it at all. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to Sandoria. I know I've got this other thing I can do to continue that quest, but I think I'm going to leave that right now. Leave it alone for right now and come back later on. We're going to go back to Sandoria, and we're going to finish that basic tutorial. This was the last item that Aluni here had for me. I need to equip a support job. Alright, so let's go to the Mog House and let's do that. Then we'll come back and talk to her. And actually, before I do that, I think there might be a Records of Eminence thing for this as well. That one too. Forgot to check these off. Not done that. I'm really surprised the support job is not there. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Since we don't have support job, leveled or anything like that, I'm going to change my main job. And we're going to change that to... We're going to change it to monk. I'm going to set my support job as a ward. Now, I don't have any gear on me that's sufficient for a monk, I don't believe. So we are going to deposit some of this in the mod wardrobe. Up here. Mod wardrobe 2. Nope, I didn't. I thought I had unlocked that. I thought I bought a mod wardrobe. Have to check on that. Trade out some equipment. Now, where's my Elvon body at? Did it end up somewhere else? Up in the safe, maybe? Like this. Let's see. This is a hand-to-hand weapon, but it seems more like a joke weapon than anything. Let me look this thing up. What's this all about? Okay, let's do it. What is Final Paradise? A weapon skill. It's a special weapon skill. Delivers a twofold attack. Paradise varies with TP. Hand-to-hand skill single. The joke variant of Final Heaven using the same animation. Yeah, so that's just a junk weapon. I could put the crown on, I guess. So I feel like this could be a fun little experiment here. I think now that I've got a support job and I need to level another job behind it, this could be a fun way to sort of level the old-fashioned way, meaning level up and run for to level 10, then head out to the Thriteen Plateau until about level 13, then make a mock Dooms party until I'm level 20 again. At that point, I think perhaps I'll pick back up the Nation mission quests, and we'll play through those for a little bit. That would really give me a sense of how fast the leveling is. Oops, you know, I didn't talk to this guy today or yesterday. I want to make sure I get those mod points or whatever for logging in. So I waited the other day. Let's see what my present is. A return ring. Outpost work. That's not a very good present. Alright, now let's talk to her. Splendid, you've succeeded in obtaining your support job. From now on, you may set a support job to enhance your job's main abilities or broaden your tactical options during battle. Experiment with different combinations and discover the setup that suits you best. The possibilities are endless. Let me take this time to offer you a most heartfelt congratulations, Roinja. You have successfully completed all of the assignments I have laid before you. And I have here a most fitting reward, a gift of either an etched ring or 12 free Choco Passes. Etched ring is an enchanted item with unlimited uses that grants an experience point bonus. I already have one, so I'm not going to select that. Free Choco Pass is a trial Chocobo license that lets you ride a Chocobo. I feel I have nothing more to teach you. You remember that paths open before you multiply greatly should you cooperate with other adventurers. It helps to not only guarantee some modicum of safety in numbers, but also rewards you with considerably more experience points than adventuring alone. I cannot obtain the etched ring. My inventory full again? Why can I not obtain the free Choco Passes? Why can I not obtain? She said my choice, right? I've got plenty of room in my inventory. What's the deal? Let's see. We'll have to see if anybody else is having this issue. It's probably something very simple. Ah. Is it because I already have one of these? Man, I really don't want to throw away the one that I got from the Moogle just because. Where did I put it? Right there. Is this my problem that I already have one of these? Let's try a little something. Let me equip this. I'll activate the ability, drop the ring, and try to collect another one. That'd be an odd glitch if that was the problem. Oh, yeah, I don't want to throw it away. it's gone. So it's not on this character anymore. I should be able to collect it from her. So I got it through the adventure campaign. Okay, so that was the whole problem. I wonder. Yeah, it's great out there. Okay, well, that's odd. That's a strange problem to have. But one that I was able to fix. They need to fix that, though. That would confuse a novice player. Also, she said I'd be able to choose between the two, and it gave me both. Are you kidding me? I can't buy a set of onion knuckles or whatever? I wonder if there's any on the Mog House. If not, I'll just have to go just bare knuckle. I've got 2,900 gil. Unless people are selling it for something stupid. Oh yeah, Cesty, why didn't I see that? I bet you it is there and I just missed it. I bet it's there and I just missed it. Yeah, right there. Alright, so I've got the experience point ring on. I'm going to use a book. We're going to level up fast. All right. Let's do it. This is like the first bit of real, like, serious leveling we're going to do on this character. Page 1. Worms. Bring it on. And of course, there's no worms. Wild. Okay. Wow, I raised it to level 1 already. One fight took me to level 2. One fight took me to level 2. That's nuts. That used to take way more than that. brass cap, pair of mitts. I think I got a pair of mitts, don't I? Maybe not. We'll keep it just in case. Where's these worms at? There we go. There's some worms. There's some worms. Right there. Gained a level by just fighting a second monster. See, it used to take more than 10 monsters, I would venture to say. To get your first level. And then more than that to get your second. I'm leveling up in every fight. I've got the ring. I've got the ring. It's not just the game, it's the ring too. I gotta remember that. It's the ring too. EXP is up 150%. Alright, we've got our first weapon skill. And we've hit level 5. Good grief. That's so crazy to me. Every fight's resulted in a level up because of this ring. even myths. I think that's a synthesis thing. Or a synergy thing. Let's try combo out. Wow, 5 fights, 5 levels. I'll hit level 10 in absolute no time. Right? Just like that. That's crazy. Flying through the levels. Boost. What is boost? I don't remember. Martial arts, subtle blow. Boost. Enhances damage of your next attack. Let's add that to the macro list. Why not fight? What's the deal? Why was I not fighting the one? Okay, I cannot fight when I've boosted. I must wait longer to perform that action. Interesting. Maybe that's something I have to use once I've engaged. Oh, I've got so many chests here. Oh, left. Okay. So we are what? Level 7 now? Level 8. I'm gonna keep going until I hit 10. Then at 10, we'll go back to town. Hit it. Okay, so I apparently don't understand how to use boost, because when I use it, I don't attack. The power of your next attack is enhanced. Am I supposed to only use it with like a... Am I supposed to only use it with a weapon skill? I've never played a monk, so I don't know. Never played a monk in Final Fantasy XI. Quit running them. Quit running. Six members of the Worm family. Surely I've killed 6, right? I just didn't see the notification that I'd finished the regime. This one would for sure be 6, if not. 2 more fights, and I should hit level 10. Come on, stop flying. There we go. Level 10. Okay. So I said that's where we're going to stop, because next we're going to go back to thriteen, get a few levels there, and then I think tomorrow when I play, we're going to do an old-fashioned Dunes party and take this job all the way to level 11, all the way to level 20. I think that's the plan. Let's go swap out gear real quick. Oh wow, I can just put it right there. Well, that's handy. I forgot, I don't even need to go to the bog house to do this. Man, I'm still thinking of things like the old-fashioned way. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around all of the modern amenities in the game. It's going to be a hard habit to break. It'll be a real hard habit to break. Alright, what do we have here? Level 16. So yeah, no, I really don't have gear for this low level. I guess it really doesn't make sense to, you know, buy a bunch of gear, because you level so fast, you out level it before you can really, you know, take advantage of it. That's a problem I'm not used to having. Bronze beds might make certain and they say coin for your longhouse. So I remember there was furniture that you can put in the longhouse. Filipetro says, don't buy any gear. Yeah, I've noticed I'm leveling now so fast in the game that you fly past, you know, the gear. Back in the old days, of course, you'd want to outfit yourself almost every time you hit another tier of armor. I remember going for like the leather and then going for the lizard and you know, because it actually made a difference back then. Use trust to get to level 99 and complete missions and then the game starts. Yeah, I understand that that's how it works these days. I'm sort of, having started over, I'm kind of wanting to both experience the game the way it works now, but then also relive some of the old days, just for fun. And I understand it's different. I'm not realistically going to make a party and grind to level 20 in the dunes like we used to do. I mean, I realize that's not a thing anymore. But it might be fun to take some trusts out to the dunes and do an old-fashioned / trust party for level 20. But it feels weird not buying, you know, level appropriate gear. And I understand the end game starts now at 19 with your eye level going up and all of that. But you know, there's a lot to do, even excluding endgame. Oh, 30,000, look at that. 5,000 per single. Golly. Yeah, for sure. Current game is much different. Maybe a private server is your niche. So no, I totally understand. Just because I have experience with the old game and all of that doesn't mean I want to play on a private server. Although, just if you like that sort of thing, the Phoenix server launches in September with a beta in July, which is a 75 era Ottergon server that's going to progress to Wings of the Goddess, is my understanding. Which is cool for people that like that. I never had a problem with the level cap going up to 99. My only issue with it was I feel like Abyssia should have been restricted to level 75 and up instead of level 30 and up. Because when they made Abyssia available on level 30, it immediately killed all of the old camps. Nobody wanted to do the old stuff anymore. They just wanted to go straight to Abyssia at level 30 and grind up to 99 from there. And I thought that was a poor choice by Square. I feel like Abyssia, being a battleground content made to help people expedite those newer levels, it should have been 75 to 99, in my opinion. That's the only thing I probably would have done differently. Yeah, for sure. Current live game is much different. Oh, I read that one. Decided to totally get away from private servers and just focus on retail. It's been fun. Yeah, so I mean, private servers have their place, I guess. Although I would say if Square Enix ever made a progression server, which I think they said they would consider, but they just realistically can't because they don't have the rollback data, pre-patch rollback data on the servers to get to that point. They'd have to probably redo it by hand, which I don't know, right? I mean, there is a private server community, so somebody's done the work, and it's open source, the private server, so I would think Square could just take it and go with it, but I don't know. Where I was going with that thought is, if there ever was a Square Enix official progression server, then I think it would be in poor taste to participate in private servers, because retail, I feel like, should persist as long as possible, in my opinion. This game is almost 25 years old, and I would hate to see it shut down because everybody's playing on private servers. Of course, we're not, at that risk right now. In fact, I understand retail is receiving a bit of a resurgence. But no, I don't hate on post-75 content. I just think it's coincidental that at the time they rolled out post-75 levels, the game just changed so substantially. I think retail's actually been gaining more players over the last couple of years. Yeah, that's my understanding too. People enjoy games that were difficult, very much so. Having played this game through all of its eras, I saw the progression sort of as it happened, and it started with the Fields of Valor books. Well, I guess technically it started with Campaign. But then you had Fields of Valor books as an alternate way to gain experience. And then, of course, Abyssia happened. And then the home point warping thing, that was sort of the last... I believe it was a thing when I was still playing, but I quit shortly after the home point. You could warp from home point to home point. I may have quit before then, I can't recall. I quit just after Adeline came out. For good. So I have very little experience with Secrets of Adeline. I mean, I unlocked the zone and I unlocked the jobs, but I never really did any of the missions or quests or content. Because that's about the time 14 came out. And I played 14. 1.0, came back to 11 in between 1.0 and 2.0. What server are you on? This character is on Bismarck. The reason I'm on Bismarck is because I was watching not a lot of people stream this, and I was wanting to watch some people streaming, and I found a cool Japanese player live streaming on YouTube, and he was on Bismarck. And I said, that's cool. I'm going to... I went right past the book. I'm going to go ahead and roll on his server just because I've never played on Bismarck before. Originally, my old character was on Bahamut, and then I moved to Odin. And then when my link shell fell apart after Abyssia, I switched to Sylph. And my old main character is still on Sylph. Oops. I don't want to do huge wasps because they're so hard to track down. Shoot, I can do that, It does feel weird playing on this character. My old character had all kinds of cool promotional items and really hard to obtain things. I think somebody told me, though, that you can actually transfer rare X items between your character now. Oops, I didn't resummon my trusts. Oh, I'm gonna be in trouble. Better run for the hills. I didn't resummon my trust. Did he stop following me? No, okay. See, that's the 14 in me. The music stops, the mob stops fighting. Nice. Well, I wish you all the best. Game is great. Welcome back. I'll come back later to check you out. Yeah, man, appreciate it. Feel free. I'm probably going to play just for a little while longer tonight. Not too long, but I'll be back tomorrow night. While I'm healing and replying to texts, I apologize. Give me just a moment. Still not at max heal. Okay. Because I couldn't get into 14, tried it several times, but it just wasn't enjoyable. So it's a very, very different game. It's for sure a modern MMO. Final Fantasy 14 1.0 had a very 11 feel. It was just in a very, very, very bad state when it first rolled out. By the time they shut 1.0 down, right before 1.0 ended, I felt like it was really, really playable. My wife and I played it and enjoyed it. And when 14 2.0 came out, it was exciting and refreshing. But as I was telling another viewer earlier, it's just recycled over and over. It's the same thing. An expansion comes out, you have the story, you've got your dungeons, you've got your boss fights, there's some raid content. It's just the same thing. You earn max eye level items. The next patch comes out, they're no longer the best in the game. It's rinse and repeat over and over. I only play it for the story, and even that last expansion burned me on the story. I was just so, I don't know what that was. That last expansion, I don't know what that was. It was bad. It was bad stuff, in my opinion. Beautiful expansion, though. I loved the way it looked. Great zones, all of that. All right, now we're ready. Now we're ready. Yes, sir. You have a good one. Thank you. Feel free to subscribe. That way you don't miss the next time I stream. All right, now, Mr. Birdman, let's do this the right way. Is this hair gonna aggro me too? So what was it? It was sheep and birds. Sheep and birds. Another level. That's nuts. That is crazy. I'll never finish the regime before I've hit like level 13. Because at 13 I wanted to go to the dunes. Just like the old days. I get an orca shots. Well, there it is. There's 13. That's what I said I was going to level up to. I said I was going to get to 13, and then we were going to do a Dunes party tomorrow. All right. Well, with that being done, let me head back to Runfar, and we'll warp back to town through the survival manual. Because I want to do an old-fashioned Dunes party from 13 to 20. I understand I'll have to do it with trusts more than likely. I don't think we'll get other players interested in doing a Dunes party, but just one more time before I die, I want to do another old school party in the Dunes, just like we used to do. That'll make a fun project for tomorrow. let me pass. I'm an arrogant Elvon. Nice. All right, there we go. So we're all ready for this Faux Dunes party tomorrow night. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're all set. Let's take it back to the Mog House here. All right, this is where we're going to go ahead and end it for the night. I want to thank everybody that came in and chatted and hung out. It was a lot of fun talking to everybody, getting different points of view. Like I said, tomorrow I'll be back tomorrow evening. I'm going to do an old school Dunes party with trusts, and of course, if anybody wants to join, they're welcome. We're going to try to take Roenja here all the way to level 20 on his new job. And after that, it'll be time to start on rank 2 missions for Sandoria. That's the game plan. So again, thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more Final Fantasy XI. Hope everybody has a good evening.